Hey guys, Stimpack again. So this is going to be my quick updates number 2 video, and in this video I plan to sort of update you guys on some of my strategies for flipping items. Originally I told you guys to look for a gold find percentage of 15% and a pickup radius between 6 and 7 and flip those items. But as you can see now, especially today after patch 1.03, for some reason there are a lot of items now going for very cheap in this range. So flipping these items is not really worth it. You'll be buying an item for 60k and trying to sell it for 70k. That the sort of margin is not worth it. So basically 15% is now like the old 14%. So you've got to start moving up the goal find percentage in order to make any sort of money by flipping items. So even at the 16 on gloves, you can see we're still too low. You need to be up to around a range of flipping like 200k items. So if we keep moving up the range on gloves, what are we at now? Still very low, and you can see that there's no gap. You're always looking for the top item to be a fair gap away from the second item, and that way you know that you can kind of take an item. Say there's let's just sort of look at one here. Hopefully we can find one. So here you can see a sort of gap. The lowest one is at 150 and the next one's at 180. So there is that potential that you could take this 149 item and move it up to the 169, 170 range, and try to make that 20 to 30,000 off of it. Now Brawler's Prospect, that's actually mine. So you can see I'm always lowballing these items, but it's kind of crazy that you can get all the way up to 19% and 6 radius for only 200k, because it wasn't long ago that 16% and 6 pickup radius was costing the same amount. So item prices are dropping very quickly, so you can't hold on to your items for very long. You need to pick them up, flip them almost immediately, and be done with them. There are still certain items like gloves are pretty cheap compared to others that are perhaps more expensive. So if we take this 19, which is my new low that I'll use for flipping items across all item types. So if we move over to belts, you can see the lowest one here is 20,000. And if we move over to belts, you're now looking at like 30,000. So belts seem to be a little bit more expensive. This one's actually, there's a fair gap here. So this would be a possible one if you wanted to. You could buy this one out and try to flip it and sell it for $3.99. And anyone interested in a belt over 19% would probably pick yours up before they'd pick up one of these higher ones. And you have to see, like, they're gonna start moving this number up. They're gonna be like 19, 20. They're gonna see what's gonna be the best value. So 19% for $3.99, or move up to 20% for 600. So it's a 20,000 or 200,000 gap between what we could sell this item, which still looks pretty good. So this one will probably get bought out pretty soon. You can see it's only been up there for a short amount of time. But items are selling very slow today, so I'm not going to try to flip those sort of items. I don't want to have to hold them onto them overnight, and my auctions is full right now. Again, here you're looking at bracers, 19 and 7, going for $150,000 less than the previous one. But as you can see, I'm probably the one selling that one. There it is right there. So I'm trying to sell this one quickly, and I don't mind selling them to somebody who wants to flip them, because I probably purchased those for 70,000 and I'm trying to make 150,000. If they want to flip and try to make another 50, fine, but I want the quick sale. I want to get rid of it as quickly as possible, because the longer the game goes on, the more items there are at this sort of category, at this sort of stat rating. So soon enough, these items here will be going for 150 in another 2 weeks from now, and I'll be flipping items 21% and 7 radius. So anyways, let's move on to chest armor at the same range. You can see chest armor is always more expensive. It's probably the most expensive, or the rarest. We already looked at gloves. Pants are also pretty expensive. As you can see, we're up at the 500 mark or 400 mark. So pants and chest armor, very good items to be flipping. So if I found a pair of pants that was 200,000 there, it would have been a good flip. Here again, we have shoulders, 20% and 7. So there's a good size gap. So that's a 20,000 gap here. This one just came up, so this one would be a good flip. Am I selling it over? No, I'm not selling it. So This might be something I would think about picking up. So let's just go to the 18. And for some reason it's not listing that one there. Sometimes the listing's not all that great. So if we go back up to 19, how come it's showing under 19 it's not showing us? Oh, because it just sold. So very clear example. So that one looked like a good buy. So somebody either wanted to use that item or they want to flip themselves. So you would have, so that was 20%. So 20% was a far ways away. I actually thought that was 19%. I must have gotten that wrong. So yeah, that would have been a great flip, because if you look at 20%, so you could have sold that for another 200, 300k. So that was a missed opportunity, but I'm not too concerned at this point. I have plenty of items I want to sell, and I have a full list here. So again, it would have been put in the queue of items to sell, and it would have sat there for a while, and who knows. Usually I don't have a full inventory. Usually I'm able to sell my items very quickly, but again, it's a very slow day today. So the one thing that is keeping its value is amulets. They always seem to keep their value. So it seems like a lot of people are coming on because it was very, very slow this afternoon after the patch. So usually, like you'll see here that all these items have just recently been listed, so people start lowballing each other all the way. This 800 is a very good deal. The only problem is the 15% transaction fee. So I would buy this to sell this for $1 million, but then I'd lose $150,000. So I'll be making $50,000 off of it. So it's really not worth the risk to me. So yeah, so we'd have to move away from that, looking for a better deal. So rings, if you look at 20%. These are also holding their values pretty well. So you'd be looking to buy something around 400k in order to flip it for 800, so you can actually make a couple $100,000 profit. As you can see, these new shoulders I just purchased today, 25% in 7. So these are the real items that you really want to keep your eye on. So we want to look at pickup radius on shoulders. This we want to be gold fine, this we want to be pickup radius. You can see that the most recent one listed for this amount was about 5 million, and these are called Resplendent Ward. So let's see what I purchased these for. Resplendent Ward. Maybe it's down a little bit. Yeah, they are Resplendent Ward 400k, and they're worth 5 million according to seller. So another helm that I like, you can see a couple of these sales here. So this is a helm, 20% base gold fine with a socket, and I sold it for, well, 2 million minus transaction fees, and that's called Prime Fiend. So here we are here for 400k, and I sold it for 2 million. So what you want to start looking for is not these low end items of 15 to 6. You want to start looking at the higher end items, like maybe 19 and 6, and look for opportunities to flip, such as this one here, which you could have purchased and resold for, you know, another 200,000 more. So that's sort of my updates of the auction house and the sort of luck I'm having with these sort of shoulders. I picked up this helm as well, which is the exact same, except for the helm that I sold for 2 million only had a 6 radius. This one has a 7, and I purchased this one for 1.5 million. So I love that 7 radius. I don't want to drop down below 6. So now I have 2 items that are maxed here. My boots are maxed. My gloves are close. So I still need a chest piece, bracers, a belt. My pants are very close as well. So my pants and gloves are excellent. They're only 1% away. I like my shield, and everything else is pretty well maxed out. So I have at least three or 4 pieces that I still need to find 25 and 7 on, and a helm that I don't know how long it's going to take me, but they never seem to come up. A 25% base gold fine helm with a socket is very hard to find. So if you have one and you want to sell it to me, I'll probably be willing to pay about 5 million for it. So let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, take care guys, bye.